I think right now, more than ever, nostalgia is something that people are grasping to. I mean, we are getting so many either remakes or, dedicated sequels to movies that we absolutely love. And ultimately, when we look back, we think of all these great movies that came before it, movies that are super iconic and actually get us excited to see a new version of them in some sort of way. So when I heard and saw right during the Super Bowl this incredible trailer for the new Twisters movie, I said, this is going to be a whole lot of fun. So for those of you who are not aware, there is a trailer online right now that was premiered during the Super Bowl showing the new Twisters movie, which is based on Twister, which was a very famous movie back in the 90s? Correct me if I'm wrong, but that movie was very popular, so much so that it even had its own ride at Universal, which was amazing, and I remember it. And I remember the last time I went on that ride was in 2015 with my friend Tavon during Grad Bash, which was awesome. And I think that ride kind of like showed people what tornadoes were all about, and it kind of walked you through a set that kind of showed you what a tornado is capable of and that sort of thing. So I think that Twister has always been a very strong IP specifically for Universal. So when I saw this trailer and how it's shot and how they're showing, specific moments in this movie, I said, man, they are literally shooting this movie just like they did the original. And I think that is a brilliant idea because we are now stepping into a new era of movies that, we are going to have much better CGI. Hopefully, in most movies, we're getting good CGI. I can't say for very low budget movies, but there are movies that have great CGI, and I think that utilizing those computer graphics for today's cinema, specifically to show people what tornadoes are like, is fantastic. And I think that I get nostalgic looking at this trailer and thinking, man, this movie is going to be awesome. But imagine all the people who are, let's say, 15, 16, 17-year-old people who have not seen the original and are watching this one for the first time. I still think it's going to be a great movie. I mean, the trailer itself speaks for itself. It looks amazing. It's got so much, rooted in the fact that it's nostalgic because we get to see Dorothy, we get to see all these, people who are chasing tornadoes. There's little references here and there to the original, which is great because people really want to experience that again. And to say that I'm not excited would be kind of an understatement because I'm very excited to see this in theaters and experience this version of Twister. Now, we're getting Glenn Powell in this movie, we're getting Daisy Edgar Jones, and we're getting a few other people. I heard that Kiernan Shipka is in this movie as well. I haven't seen her character officially, at least in the trailer it doesn't show. And we're getting Anthony Ramos, which is a big, actor nowadays, alongside these other characters who we're going to see being played out. But these are four big actors who are in this movie, and I just can't wait to see what kind of connection they all have to each other, because in the original movie there's a lot of banter. We'd see Helen Hunt's character very much engaged in this pursuit for these tornadoes. So I imagine that Daisy Edgar Jones is kind of going to be that sort of substitute for that one character. Same thing with Bill Paxton. I think Glenn Powell isn't going to be that Bill Paxton character, because we can tell that he's kind of like not totally on board with things that, Daisy Edgar Jones' character is doing. So I think it's going to be really interesting, this movie. It sparks interest in me going to the theaters, which every trailer should do. But ultimately, when it comes down to it, we have to see what kind of reviews this movie is going to get. And ultimately, that's what's going to be the determining factor as to whether or not I go to see this in theaters. But again, what may be nostalgic to me may not entirely be nostalgic to you. And that's why I want to know what you think. Do you think that this movie is going to be an utter success, an utter failure? Or are you feeling nostalgic about Twisters and how fun this movie is and how it's going to be ultimately in theaters? I want to know from you. I want to have this discussion with you down in the comments below. And while you're there, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to be notified when new videos go live on this channel. Now, when we stop to talk about nostalgia, we can talk about things that came before, specifically relating to games. Now, we've already spoken about Borderlands on this channel, but I know another movie that is coming out that is ever so slightly related to a game. And I think I'm going to give you a very subtle hint as to what that is. Yeah, we're talking about something next week, and it involves this. So if you want to know what we're talking about, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell, because you do not want to miss this.